Okay, we lit it just like a fuse, so no need to pick and choose. Welcome to 2020, where we do more than interviews. The hottest beat coming through, jumping knowledge on all of you. Get a peek at the front of you with the truth that they offer you. Yeah, hands up, we doing it for the culture. To give artists and businesses more exposure. Keeping it real and stay silent just like a boulder. It's about to go all the way down, can't get no lower. Chasing my dreams, know that they get no slower. But if I stay running, I promise they getting closer. Moreover, success my older. And if you're sleeping on me, I'm waking them up like Folgers. I told you, coming from the land with the tide roll. Well, we'll be on a whole different vibe though. We like to ride slow and keep our windows tinted so you really can't see us. Like Stevie Wonder waking up with his eyes closed. Yeah, got the kind of flow that rock the boat. On my 16s of pounds of dope. And if you figure you can hang with me on the mic, then grab some rope. Matter of fact, better grab some hope. While you at it, we keep it live, it's time to tune in. Turn up the sound on what you're using. It goes so hard, I think it's bruising. The show is 2020, no need to zoom in. Yeah.
I was listening. I follow this pastor. There's an online pastor named Stephen Ferguson. He said something.
I know Steve, man.
Oh, that's my boy.
Oh man,
him and Mike Ty, bro.
They be rocking, man.
Bro,
I love when they join together too and switch churches.
Oh, that'd be so lit. Bro.
Oh, dude.
Bruh, I ain't been that excited about them doing that since I think the Avengers did the crossover. But,
right.
But he said something. He was like, when you're working and people congratulate you getting started, but when you on that path of learning your craft, you get silent. And he was like, when it's silent, it isn't they're silent because they're not interested. They're silent because you're consistent. When you're consistent, people don't notice you. But notice if you stop or if you start, that's when they see you. Just stay consistent no matter what. And that stuck with me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's been my thing. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to start. I ain't going to stop. And, yeah, man, I just been trying to impact the world my own way through this podcast, through highlighting people like yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that's the perfect way to transition to this interview. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of A Business Minute. I'm your boy, Sirr. And today I got another guest, Mr. Matt Naylor is in the building. I appreciate you, brother, for taking time out your day. Because I know it's Saturday. You could be anywhere, feet up, kicking it, chilling. But you chose to come here and do this for me, man. I appreciate you more than you know.
Spots to be here today.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Hey. So, brother, if you could, for those of people that are watching or listening that don't know what it is that you do, could you expound on what it is that you do?
So my name's Matt Naylor. I actually have a 2-path career right now.
Oh, let's hear it.
Yeah. So I'm a sales manager. So what some people would say by day, but given the way the hours work. But I'm a sales manager on one end. So I currently work for Sprint, and I got my own store here at headquarters of our district here in Mobile. Climbed up through the ranks from Hattiesburg, went from rep all the way up to store manager, one of the highest ranking store managers in the nation. They told me last year that I was in the top 5 highest commissioned store managers in our entire portion of the company. So just something I got into, learned that I was good at it, put some skill with it. On the other side of that, I'm a motivational speaker and content creator. One of the greatest listings that I fit into that I'm proud of is a gold coach. And that's where it transitions into the sales, and also it correlates with being a motivational speaker, mentor. Everything that comes in that lane is I'm able to teach people how to accomplish their goals and every single thing they do. So that's the basis of it. You know, whether I'm doing motivation, whether I'm mentoring, whether I'm working a sale, whether I'm teaching reps on how to sell, the big thing I do is I coach people on how to accomplish their goals.
That's dope. I think in a world where I feel like we're in a world of dreamers, but definitely not enough workers, if that makes sense. A lot of people come with a lot of plans for success, but fail to follow it through.
Yeah, that's a big gap that I see a lot of time, and that kind of what got me into goal coaching. From the start of what I was doing, it was just like that. I had the dream, but I never knew how to transition it into a vision. Yeah, and actually, man, when I was working ministry, which I still do some ministry stuff, but when I first started out strictly ministry. And my being a part of a large ministry, my church family, Dominion Power Family Life Center, man, they inspired you to have your own thing. You know, they was like, yeah, we all come here to do what we do together, but we like everybody to know what it is that just you do too. So you can have something to grow in it. Me, I was like, I don't know what I do. I do what y'all do. I'm here with y'all. I'm on the road. Whatever we doing, I'm working. So they was like, well, find a gap. Find something that nobody's doing. And I noticed in my city that homelessness in Hattiesburg was growing massively. So I got involved with feeding the homeless, and the first ministry name I ever had was Manifest DMA, Dreams Made Alive. And it was off that same concept that you can have a dream, but you have to transition that thing and make it come alive some type of way.
All right. You got to bring life to it. You just can't, I like that because that plays into a popular poem. I'm sure you heard of this, where my favorite poet of all time, Langston Hughes, A Dream Deferred. And I was trying to explain it to someone who I was like, have you really dove into that poem? And it's Black History Month, and I kind of broke it down for him. A dream deferred is, the reason it's compared to a fruit is because it's, when you think fruit, you think of something that is appealing to the eyes, the ears, the nose. It's just appealing to the senses, period.
Right.
And that is essentially a dream. It's something that's pure, and it's whatever it is. It's just it's nourishing.
Right.
And if you just let it sit there and fester, what happens to it? He's challenging you to think what happens to your dream when you just leave it unattended.
That's crazy.
Just sitting there.
It just widens out. And I tell you what's crazy. You got so many different fruits. You got so many different dreams. But that law stay the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's crazy.
He challenges you to challenge yourself to pursue it by making you think about what happens to it, because it's so easy to get distracted nowadays. You know, something I hear a lot, and I'm probably stepping on toes when I say this, is I understand with pursuing a dream, we want to feel like the time is right. What time is better than now? Right.
And I tell you what's crazy, even with timing, and it's been a recent thing since I've had so much success. Like 2016 was a big transition for me, but 2017, I named that the best year of my life. And what was crazy, 18, 19, and 20, well, 18, 19 got so much better than 20 on that same path. And that was one thing that I threw away, was timing. I think when you respect the work of time, the grind of time, consistency, like we were talking about earlier, you realize that you're not in full control of time, but you have the largest impact of what happens over time. You start to respect the clock of thinking that, okay, this is a ticking clock that will not stop.
Right.
How much can I get done in this amount of time versus maybe it's not time? Well, what was you doing when it was not time? And what is the exact thing that you're waiting on? Because that's the respect of the dream too, is the dream is the thing that was given to you free. Whether you believe it was given to you by God or by your deity, that was free. You probably didn't do nothing. Very few people, now there are some, had a car wreck, I had whatever happened in my life, and it inspired me and it gave me a dream. But most people, dreams are centrally organic to just something that was just given to you. Well, if that part was given to you, what was the other part of the equation that got you there? But I don't think we're algebra-minded people in dreams. That's the sad part. Those of us who accomplish the most of our goals, I believe, in our mental capacity, not just in mathematically, but we figure out the equation. If you give me this, I need to put X, and I'll get whatever the result, whatever the answer is. We're the bigger X, Y, Z people. Whatever that equation is, we're going to work that to get what that is. So we're not trapped by time. If anything, we're trying to get the most of whatever the dream was in that time, which is why there's such a big gap in between those who are successful and those who just have a dream.
That was a lot to unravel right there. Man. Opportunity cost is everything. If you're gonna, it was funny we talk about this. I think the best thing that happened to me last year, this is gonna sound crazy. My PlayStation 4 got struck by lightning.
What?
Yes, man. Yeah, it was struck by lightning. And I was like, you know what? I could go and get it fixed.
True.
Or I could invest this money into this podcast I've been doing.
Challenge time.
I make a fork in the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could, buy something for entertainment. That's fun sometimes.
Yeah.
Or something that I really want to do with my life, that I really feel is my calling, that is my ticket to pursuing my entrepreneurship. I should invest in this. And I challenge myself like that every time I get paid or I'm tempted to buy something. I'm like, is this a benefit of a want or a benefit of my need for my success?
Yeah.
And from there, it's been consistent. So it's funny. The best thing that ever happened to me was and I leave it there. It's a brick. It's not going to turn on at all. But I keep it there as a reminder. Anytime I'm sitting there just dilly-dallying, and don't get me wrong, it's important to take your time off, enjoy yourself. That's fine. Personally, holding myself accountable, I was doing too much of that.
Yeah.
And I got lax. And so that's why I feel like it was a good, pretty good wake-up call for me.
Yeah.
But back to you. I wanted to go back in time a little bit, if you don't mind. Like, I understand, you mentioned that you delved in ministry and you started with a Sprint, as an advisor and worked your way up. What really, because everything has a beginning, what really got you in the mindset of, I like mentoring, I like helping people realize that dream? What kind of pushed you in that direction?
What my motivation company is called Beat Life. The easiest way to explain it is the slogan itself: beat life, don't let life beat you.
Okay.
So I'm sitting in service one day, and I've already did the homeless stuff at this time. I'm devout in my Christianity. And then it's non-denominational apostolic. So it's all about the work, the love, growing. There's not a lot of really, technical stuff to it. It's purely actual getting it done. So I'm in service one day, and my pastor, man, Apostle Paul Beard, he preaching, and he's doing this life coaching session where he's talking to us about, actually getting your spirit, your natural to catch up with your spiritual. So, and I'm listening to him because at this time, I'm like, I got a regular job, been paid like $9.25. I got 2 kids. My wife is a nurse, but I'm coming out of these years of just really of a rough time, man. Like when we had my first son, I was working, lost that job. My wife went to nursing. I used to barely see my wife because she used to work 12-hour shifts.
Oh man, respect for nurses.
Oh man,
my mom's in the RN, so I know, brother.
Bro, and imagine you being I didn't grow up. I grew up with father figures, but I didn't grow up with my dad, even though I know him now. So imagine having a 2-year-old. Then we have another child. I have a 1-year-old, 2 boys. You raising them in the projects. Limited money, and you really don't know what you're doing. Like I remember crying some days because just the thought of this is what you have to do every day. You have to warm up milk. You have to know what they're doing. They're crying. You got to make sure you give them the medicine if they need medicine that day. I'm telling you, I'm coming out of all of this, just jam packed, just smothered together stuff. Man, I drove a '98 Isuzu Trooper with no air in it, and only one window lit down in it. Summertime, wintertime, whatever. Luckily enough, thank God the heat worked. And I'm in service. I got my 2 boys, and my pastor he said, man, let me tell y'all something. He said, you got to beat life. Because life, it don't care nothing about you. It'll chew you up and spit you out. If you don't beat life, life will beat you. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh, that's me. Life whooping me. Life is smacking me dead in my face. And I'm like, man, I know I'm better than this. Like, I have something in me, but it's me who's not doing anything about it. So, getting around, working around, starting doing some studies on purpose just to see what I'm doing, putting more attention into the ministry stuff. And what hit me was I said, okay, I got to make a difference. And what is the difference that I need to make? I said, what am I missing? What from because that I had a life before I got saved, dude played high school football, all of that whole journey. A lot of people knew me. I was a person's person, you know, known in a bunch of different areas, a bunch of different places. But anyway, you had that life, got saved, got transitioned over to here, going through all the stuff I went to. And I'm at this point, just heard this message. And in the middle of this message, I'm thinking, what is it that I'm missing? Who have I not helped? And there was a kid that I mentored. Well, I technically didn't mentor him at the time, but he looked up to me. We went to church together, and he went to my alma mater. And I thought about it, and he was like, you know, I graduate Sunday. And I said, man, you finna graduate? But I'm thinking about all the kids and every running back at this time that I mentored after I graduated and before this moment. Every single one of them asked me, could they work out with me? I worked out with none of them.
Oh, man.
And so it's hitting me at this moment like, bro, you deep in God, you own what you own, but who you helping? You feed the homeless every week, but who have you helped who asked for your help? Like, and it gave me that, are you just doing this for the look or what you think that's right? But what about what other people think that's right? And you know, that outlook of being selfish changed everything, because it went from, okay, let me find out how can I personally help people. Like, and I came up with the greatest question ever, which a lot of people use, but it's my number one go-to, is how can I help you? That's the biggest thing that's gotten me to where I am today. How can I help you? When I found out that you don't just grow your talent, you don't just grow what you do, but you need to find a way while you're growing that talent to assist someone, to help someone, to build someone, you know, in like the fashion of what you do. You being an interviewer, everything that you do helps someone. And not just, it doesn't just help the person you interview them, it helps all of their followers, all of your followers. Someone who just scrolling one day sees that interview, boom, they get what they need. But you never get that if you're being selfish. That was my crossing point into doing mentoring, becoming a motivational speaker, because the mentoring branched into the motivational speaker, and that's how I found the coaching. And man, it's blessed my life tremendously.
Man, that is a wonderful way of looking at it. That is kind of I guess the slap in the face to wake you up. Nothing like time. I think everything's coming back to time in a way, because that instant, you know how they say, like in the moment of a twinkle of an eye.
Yeah.
For instance, that's how hard it hit you. And it's crazy how much your perspective can change in just 1 second. Just one phrase caused that. And coming from a child, you know. And I'm sure it convicted you pretty tough.
Oh, hit me hard. When he hits you hard and you looking at him and they talking to you and they waiting on you to respond, because he just thinking about his graduation. Like, he coming to the graduation?
He don't even know.
And I'm just looking at him like, I disappointed you.
Yeah.
like, oh, should I even say it? I remember just saying, I'm sorry, man. And he like, you ain't coming? I said, yeah, I'm coming. But I'm sorry. I said, I'm sorry anyway. And he was like, oh, man, that's good. You know, I don't play no more anyway. And I said, oh, you making it worse, bro. You killing me.
Killing me, Smalls.
Killing me, man.
Oh, man. All right. Well, let me go forward then, since we got that backstory. In your perspective, where would you like to see yourself? I guess in the next year. You know, we talked about the previous years, and this year is unwritten. You know, the sky's the ceiling. Yeah. Like, what do you have like a goal for yourself?
I do. My biggest one is, since I've been in the sales, coaching and manager in that lane, this is my 4th promotion, and I'm actually working one right now. So the number one thing is to seal that promotion, because every year I've been gaining more and more of an understanding financially, not just on the budget, but, you know, investment, as well as being able to do a lot more for my family than at that stage I was at. So I see another level in what I want to do for my family, as in my son, I want to fully support him in his gymnastics.
That's cool.
My youngest boy, he's amazing with architecture. So I was like, I want to find programs to put him in, stuff like that. My wife has been able to do more investment in her hair business rather than nursing, because she's a 2-career person as well. Actually, 3. So she tops me.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey,
Get it.
So I'm trying to support her, because I'm like, one day you go retire me, baby. I'm just trying to put money behind it, be behind you clapping it up. So just want to see everything grow together, like the whole 9. Financially, I want to be able to grow. Spiritually, I've always traveled a little bit for work. This year I'm traveling further than I've ever been. I'm in LA. In April. I'm doing Houston in May. Honolulu, Hawaii.
Wow.
In June. We doing Nevada, Lake Tahoe. We'll do a whole project in Lake Tahoe in September. So the schedule's already been made, because one thing big about being a goal coach, you have to prove the schedule. You have to say, okay, if you really believe in yourself, you don't build all this believing in yourself, do you see yourself actually doing this? And if you do, you got to put it on paper. If you don't write it down, it don't exist.
Preach.
So that's the first manifestation. So the calendar pretty much is written out, but I really want to challenge where I am now. I want to be the biggest challenge. I don't want nothing that I face, none that I come across, to give me a bigger challenge, whether it's in the sales game, whether it's in budgeting, whether it's in being a husband to my wife. I want to challenge last year's me to do double. Like, if this year's me had to face last year's me, do I not only win, do I dominate that person? Do me now dominate the person last year? And if I don't, I missed one key thing. I missed preparation. That means I really didn't prepare for 2020. So, and this is the first year of a new decade. And I said to myself, before 2019 even came across, and I actually, what's crazy was, I preached a New Year's word for my brother-in-law, talking about 2020 when 2019 was coming.
Wow.
Which was crazy, so I want to be the person, who's a prime example for that, of starting whatever I want to do for the next 10 years. I want to start it now. And, last 10 years was so transitional that I want to make sure that I start a purposeful, strategic 10 years that can literally set me up. So when I turn 39, crossing over into 40, I want to be able to look back at my life and say, okay, who next? Because I want to be not per se done, but I want to be done building, and I want to be in full use. Everything that I do, I want to do it for the next 10 years and stretch that out to the next person.
I understand that. Planting the seeds now so that it's works on its own, getting that wheel moving so it keeps going. 100%. I hear you, brother. It's funny you were talking about writing things down. And it's interesting with this year. I feel like 2020, the year, no pun intended, kind of got that fad beginning with it. Everybody, 2020, the year of perfect vision. It's funny you were talking about preparation. I started this podcast with this year in mind in 2018.
Boom, that's crazy.
So I got the name 2020 because they always say hindsight is 2020.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if we applied that to our future and just move forward, and the year 2020 will be the best year possible for this podcast.
That's
and
right.
I started doing that. I started with one little small microphone, horrible sound quality, and like I said, just kept going. I wrote down literally what you said, the plan, and right here is my vision board. It was the best move I ever made. I know people say it, we know it's in the Bible, write the vision, make it plain. If you haven't done this yet, you don't even have to do it all fancy. Get you some sticky notes.
Come on.
Make it, if you put it in a place where you have to see it every day, it's like facing your vision every day. It's manifestation. It's all about surrounding yourself with that dream. I appreciate it. I like how you noticed that. When you said I liked how you noticed.
Yeah.
Those of you who just listen, you didn't catch that. But I'm a big proponent of that. I originally just started writing it, but then I realized I'm putting it in a book where I can't see it.
Yeah. It has to transition to something bigger, something easier to see too.
Right. So if you're listening, I put mine in my hallway. I've got to pass that hallway going to the restroom. I got to pass that hallway going to bed. I got to pass that hallway to get something to eat. So my vision is constantly in my face.
Yeah, mine's everywhere. Now it's transitioned to it's everywhere, to the artwork and the pictures in my house. And some people be like, "Oh man, this is this." And I said, if you put all this together, this is my family's vision board.
Man. Other than the S falling off.
Yeah.
The S fell off last night on my God first sign, and that's why I used to conduct interviews over here, but I was like, let me surround myself with my art, what I like, what I do. Yeah. And that'll be my studio. This section here is my studio to me.
The atmosphere means so much, man.
Very much so.
Atmosphere and environment. It's definitely it's something that's underestimated in the game.
Very much.
Yeah.
Very much. That's why I would love to work with you more on this, but I do something I like to call a think tank. It wasn't my idea. I got it off Shark Tank.
Yeah,
but it was just people coming together.
I'm a big Shark Tank fan, man.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro, tell me about it. So what I did was I tried it out one time. I invited a good friend of mine. She's a musical artist. I was like, yo, let's just sit down and hash out some ideas. Yeah. And it was probably the most enlightening thing I ever did.
Wow, man.
I did it again, but with 3 other people. And the energy in the room, the creative energy when everybody's on the same accord and just having general conversation about life and positivity. And that's the key word, positivity. Yeah. I can understand venting, but coming here with a message and a means to do better.
I've been saying for months that we need to throw away the whole don't share your dream and vision. Don't share your dream and vision. Don't tell everybody. Don't tell nobody. Yeah, you ain't got to tell everybody. But it's so impactful now to have a room of people that you can put your vision and your artwork with, your general ideas. I really think we don't know. Of course we do. But many people don't know how much comes from rough drafting, man.
Oh, man.
Man, people don't know, bro. Rough drafting and really writing that thing. Being a writer, which I definitely got to get so much more back into. I mean, it's not even the rough draft part. What is it called in the writing process right before the rough draft, where you just scribbling?
Brainstorming.
Brainstorming. People don't know how powerful brainstorming is in a room full of people who all say, I really want to get a lot done. I really want to get a lot done this year. I want to get my feet going, the whole 9. And when you started a work, that room is even different than before when you were just dreaming.
That is true.
I can't go in the room with people who just dream no more. It's crazy because I'm going to name a bunch of components of work that we do. I'm going to name, okay, well, how do we do? I'm pulling out the SMART goals. I'm pulling out the graph chart. I'm like, okay, when this deadline is, and they looking like, I just want it to happen. Right. And you talking about, we need 10% of this done in the first year. 10%? I'm thinking 90. Don't work like that. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it is... That's so powerful, man. So powerful. It's crazy that you said that because I sure been one that's been asking people and telling people like, man, we need to get, even in our sales coaching, man, there's so many managers, and I still haven't got a chance to do it yet, but I have been telling some of the men, I said, man, we need to get together on a weekend in a room and just put it all on the table. Even if you got to start with just putting we don't know how much we release. We're putting the frustrations out there on the floor first. Like I hate this part of the business. And when everybody else say, man, me too.
You feel validated.
And you find a result that you didn't know you could. Because when we have our manager meetings, that's one of the best thing about us is we get in there. I'm bringing the hate list. I got this don't work, that sucks. Like all of that is on there. And it's welcome because everybody know if I'm bringing what the problem is, it's only because I can't get to the solution because this exists.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't look at problems and ignore them like, well, yeah, that's there, but okay. No. If this could stop us, I want to handle this before I get back on the field again, you know, a sports mentality mindset.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, I feel that. I work for a similar corporation who has that same outlet, and I mentor as well for that same company.
Wow.
So the same thing you're talking about, I'm like,
Yeah.
We have full chat room conversations, but that's what makes us gel together so well.
Yeah.
Because we do get together, we air that frustration, but we try to find a solution as well. It's perfectly fine to vent and get it off your chest, but are you venting for a solution? Are you venting? And quite honestly, there's an underlying thing with that. Are you happy? Like ask yourself that. Are you happy? Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Like self-evaluation. I talk about that all the time. If you're not happy, take time, look at yourself objectively, which is the hardest thing to do. I'll admit, it's the toughest thing to do.
Yeah.
To look at yourself and take accountability for your actions and the mistakes you've had. Once you do that, you can proceed forward.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, just lay your frustrations down, and then we can proceed forward.
Do you ever find it difficult to get with people and find out if they're happy over time or happy about time?
It is very hard because, unfortunate, and I'll accumulate this too, like you were saying, that keep your business to yourself mentality or what's going on, keep that within. We feel like an island a lot. We feel like we are suffering in silence when we don't necessarily have to.
Right. You surround around so many people, and if you don't, like you said, if you don't self-evaluate, you never look at, wow, I didn't tell nobody who I love or love me that I was even thinking this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at an article today. 11-year-old took his own life.
Yeah.
Because
sad, man.
he was being ridiculed at school, and everybody was saying like he wasn't a bad kid or anything. He was loved life and everything. And if it's like that for 11-year-olds, 11-year-olds.
That amount of celebrities right now, bro, who, and you don't even know they sad. Like I think his name is Lee Thompson Young.
Mm-hmm.
He played the famous Jet Jackson.
Yep.
On Disney.
Man.
No one knew. Like they was like he had normal actor depression.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're
isn't that scary? Let's talk about that right there.
Yeah.
Isn't that scary?
Normal actor and actors able to say this.
Right.
People who run actors, directors, no, that's normal actor depression. What is normal depression?
Right.
So everybody's depressed. We should be okay. Yeah. So now we're not okay that, more of us are killing each other. I mean, we're killing ourselves. Normal that why I don't understand.
Okay, normalize it, man. We have a job to do to not let them normalize that, bro. Because when you normalize it, you are desensitized to it. When you're desensitized to it, you ignore it.
And I feel like there's a lot of ignorance with depression. I tell you what's crazy. Moving here was actually a big move for my wife who deals with depression.
Mm.
And it was crazy. My wife now, this is the brightest I believe I've ever seen her.
Mm.
Filled with life, full of energy. Like we moved here, and just even statistically, like my wife is brighter. This is the best schedule she's ever had. This is the best relationship she's had with our kids.
Mm-hmm.
She's smarter now, and I mean, was everything before all of this, but you don't realize how much depression puts a limit, even in a motivational way, how much depression puts a limit on who you actually are.
Yeah.
And the potential that you have. That depression is smothering that. It's a dark cloud. It's like being a photographer, but it's raining all the time.
Mm.
You still go out and shoot, yeah, but you're still not getting the shot that you could get because the light is so much more beautiful. And people sometimes, what's even sadder, and they do this a lot in the music industry, I'm pretty sure you've noticed, we fall in love with the darkness that we can see in people. We like, oh, that's that good dark music. Like, and I felt like that's why we lost people like XXXTentacion. The reason why we felt so much about that boy's loss was because we was like, yeah, dark music. Now that he's murdered, it's like, we may should talk to him.
Yeah, right.
You think?
Right.
Like rough, but she's so much brighter. My wife have lost, I believe it's 60 pounds. Healthy. I'm talking about healthy, full-blown healthy lifestyle. All because I worked out grinding and kept in mind with everything else that I wanted to do, I want you in a better environment. And that was what pushed the move to Mobile. And there are some days I honestly tell myself, it just hits me that I may have, and even just a maybe is strong in this, I may have saved my wife's life by making sure, just like we were saying, that I didn't normalize her depression or say it's always okay that you can go through it and you can make it through it now. Survival is not everything. It's not everything, and it's crazy because we hear and we see that so much. Even with the church, one of my biggest frustrations with the church is our biggest level of success that we hear about is surviving. And sometimes we kind of peel away. It's growing better now, but we've always peeled away a little bit from the ones that strive and the ones that thrive.
Ooh.
And we got a bunch of statistics, we put on the thriving ones, especially when we see a financial balance. And we don't know how much balance it took for this financial balance. Because if you're unhealthy physically, no matter how much money I give you, you're going to eat more of your budget than you're supposed to. And nobody ever looks at it like that because we look at our weight. No, are you out eating a portion of what the budget is?
Good point.
Like you ate half of it, and it's like you keep wanting to relate it to weight. I don't. That's different. You know what I'm saying? Because you still can work out, you still can eat better, but and that's not an everybody thing, and it doesn't always correlate to weight. You can be a skinny person, but still unhealthy, but you eat so much stuff. Like you're always eating out. You're always eating over budget. You don't, when you order whatever, you got, I'm always get crab legs on payday. Do you really? do you always pay the stuff that can build your credit on payday? Do you always go get one thing that can invest in your company on payday? Do you always donate to your favorite nonprofit on payday? Well, like how, and yes, like we were saying earlier, have fun, but all of that comes into, if we're normalizing and we're celebrating and partying in that darkness, and it's different for so many people in so many areas, but it's something that I feel like there's a gap in between that too. And we can definitely get out of that and stop just saying, oh, I'm surviving. Yeah, but bro, you could be striving, which ultimately is just a transition point to thrive.
Hey, you speaking to me now. I thought I was the only one that noticed that. I was telling a friend of mine that also every time I get paid, I try to do something for a black business where I buy something.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Or I go and shout them out, or I go and try to employ their services in some way. And that really helps. Like, even if I do an interview, I'll put it on their page. And I'm like, this is free advertising for it. Go, hey, shoot, you need the link, you need the YouTube version, send me your logo. I'll go put it on my stuff. Like, I love doing that. It isn't for the sake of, oh, Jeremy's helping such and such. No, I love helping you because I see me in you. And man,
common courtesy is what they call it,
brother. I'm trying to get back to it. I'm trying to get back to it, brother.
Yeah.
Because it was done for me at some point. Somebody inspired me to do this. They gave me that. You know what? You keep going.
And I feel like we cheat the game when those of us who are in the working your dream class, when we do that and we give that common courtesy to each other. How long would it have took Missy Elliott if Timberland never would have said, I'll just make your beats, you just get on and do your thing? How long would it have been when Justin Timberlake said, I'm leaving NSYNC, and Timberland said, hey, the studio's open to you? If Pharrell and his crew would have never got together, if he would have never got with the Clips and said, I still am not sure, and there may be somebody who can look up to this, did them boys pay for the grinding beat?
I don't know. Because it's iconic.
Right. Like, I'm not really sure if they ever paid for this, because they was everybody, ain't none of us made it, so we all might as well be working. It's common courtesy, man. If you make it, I'm closer to making it, and I'm pushing you if you make it.
And I'm not gonna forget you. I think that's the thing. People are so afraid of someone making it before them and not remembering them. That is, just me. Do it yourself.
Joseph complex is what I call it. Yeah, you in the prison. You're like, oh snap, you done forgot about me. You just gotta wait. You know, everybody's not gonna wait till they're about to get killed or fired to be like, you know what? There's a guy I will favor. He's in jail, but he can get the job done. I'm sure he's the one who got me here.
Right.
You know, everybody's not gonna do you like that.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I appreciate, and sometimes I'm gonna be honest with you, if you can get to the phase where you're not even looking for anything back, like you said, just the courtesy, like you genuinely just feel good helping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at this point. I recently said to someone, I don't have to be like in the forefront of helping Mobile. Just let me be a pebble on the ground.
Come on, man.
Build on top of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for it. I know what I did.
Yeah.
The people who I work with know what I did. That's enough for me, bro. That's why I'm not. When I do interviews, part of the reason I don't like to be like sitting in the shot is because I want it to be about you. Right. I want the sole focus to be you. I'm just a platform. You're building on me. So
I literally told a person yesterday, this is so strong. I told them they failed something and it hurt the team when they failed. I told them I will not fire you because I believe too much in you. Like I cannot. Like I will not let you get away with failing once, and we didn't get more success, and I lost you off the one thing you did. I said no, that is not your punishment. Your punishment is that I'm gonna keep believing in you. You know what I'm saying? Your punishment is you got to succeed. Like because you did wrong now, I am going to choke the success out of you. Like, we gotta make like you gotta. And I'm like, you know, and she was crying. She was like, it means so much to me because I already know you're being promoted. And, you know, it is that same thing that you're talking about, man. It's like I've always said, because coming from a strong ministry like I come from, I've always said with my pastor, man, he pastors so many pastors. He got ones inside of our organization, outside of our organization. It's so many people. He's been around so many years, and he's been the big of the little guys. Like, of the little guys, some people there's no one bigger. And being in that room, I always liked to know, no matter how little of a title I had, because I never wanted the big ones, never really cared about them. I wanted to outwork everybody in that room. With all your resources, I worked you. You know what I'm saying? You know, you did, how many revivals you did here? You did 40 revivals. Guess what? Shoot, I fed the homeless, 200 days out of the 375. Hey. Like, I fed them. I prayed for you. How many people you pray for in a revival? About 10, 20 a night. Shoot, I'm at the homeless shelter. I'm doing about 40 a night. You know? Yeah. 3 times a week. So, and that's always, and still with the mentality of humbly always being like, man, just like you said, just put me in the room. You ain't gotta give me no chair. I ain't gonna have no, I want a seat at the table. You know, with Tyler Perry thing, which I get it. Everybody, I want a seat at the table. Let's build our own table. Sure, with Tyler, you ain't gotta give me no seat.
All right, I'll peek my head in the window.
Man, give me a peephole. You feel what I'm saying? Hey, even if I can't see it with my eyes, let me put an ear in there. If I can't hear, let me see that. I'll be in there reading lips. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I want to clean the table because I want the notes on the napkins that you forgot. You know,
fact.
It's exciting, bro. Being humble.
Yeah.
It's fun, man, because you don't get to take advantage of the gift. You get to be grateful, and it makes your work so much calmer.
Yeah.
So much calmer.
Yeah, man. Brother, I appreciate this conversation, man. The people that are listening and watching this, I know they got something out of this. You had to be dead not to. Even if you did, you probably woke up a little bit. It was like, you right?
They requesting part 2 right now. Because in my mind, I'm like, oh, man, I know we gonna do this again.
Oh yeah, absolutely, bro. I'm gonna get your number after this.
Yes, sir.
But if anybody wants to get on contact with you via social media, and also shout out your YouTube channel as well. Make sure that, people know what you do.
Anyway, you can find me. You can type in Matt, M-A-T-T, Naylor, just like Taylor, take the T off and replace it with an N, N-A-Y-L-O-R. It's that on Instagram. It's that on Snapchat. It's that on Facebook. You can either follow the pro page on my regular page. I post content daily on both of them. Also, if you're into beards, or if you're into photography, if you're into fashion, just transition my photography company into urban culture fashion with beards. So we do beard reviews. We do reviews on where you can order clothes for big men. It's just everybody always asks me about the style of what I do, and I'm like, you know what? Let's put the content together and put it out there. So if you follow at Juice.Corp, that's Juice and C-O-R-P on Instagram, you can get everything there. It's all combined on one YouTube. Just go on YouTube and type in Juice.Corp or Matt Naylor. Remember, that's Naylor. Take off T from Taylor and put an N, and you gonna find me. You can also find everything on my website at beatlife.us. That's beatlife.us by Matt Naylor.
All right, brother. Again, appreciate you for coming around on my end, on my building. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how it works. We
same complex.
Same complex, guys.
Yes, sir.
And we just made it work, man. And yeah, man. It's your boy Sirr 2020. Matt Naylor, collab. You're gonna be seeing us again.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for tuning in. We out.
Beat Life.